Every great adventure must eventually come to an end. Previously on Sasquatch Moto, we left San Diego for Baja, California. Crossing through Mexicali, we headed south, where half of our group went to San Felipe. The rest of us headed west for an adventure. Here's a quick recap.
We could feel they coming around. Day once a day going high. We've been living here for thousands of years. It's full and connected to this land. Blood will be shed. Now they want to force us out of our homes, killing our traditions and our gods. Enslaved and betrayed, we're not fit but a prey. Death, blood, and rapes on the way. Blood will be shed. Obey your face with your weapons and reggae. You're just a soul's disgrace. Blood will be shed. Obey your face with your weapons and reggae. You're just a soul's disgrace. Blood will be shed.
Our journey had been filled with challenges and triumphs, from battling through rain and hail to climbing our way out of a few muddy situations. But despite these obstacles, we'd finally found that warmer weather and reunited with our friends. We had an amazing time at the Pirate Hotel together telling stories, and as much as I wanted to stay for a few more nights, we had more miles to put on our bikes. We left Camalú for the national park, a beautiful ride that climbs like a mountain goat into the clouds where the California condors live. We paid the fee, enjoyed the view, and descended back down towards Ensenada. The fun roads eventually turned into traffic jams, the small towns turned into the big city, and the sun was starting to go down. Our hotel was on the far side of Ensenada, and for some stupid reason I didn't bring any clear eye protection. This was now a race against time to find Hotel Las Rosas. After a few wrong turns, we finally arrived just as the last rays of sunlight disappeared. A cold drink, a hot tub, and a good night's rest was exactly what we needed. The next morning, it seemed as though all the drama from our trip was behind us. But little did we know, there was more to come. After an amazing breakfast by the ocean, we were all ready to continue on our journey. And as we prepared to set out, we quickly realized that things were not going to go smoothly. The scene was tense, as we all had our bikes loaded up, ready to set out, but were stopped in our tracks. The Harley Pan America that Jerry was riding wouldn't start. We quickly dismounted and helped assess the scene. After removing his skid plate and jumping the battery, we were off to get gas for the trip. And we thought, just as long as he doesn't kill the engine, we might actually have a chance at making it. Jerry made it with us across the highway so we could load up on fuel and water. But only after about 5 minutes, his bike would die again, causing all of our hearts to sink. It didn't take long for the source of his issues to reveal itself. It wasn't a bad battery. It was a dead alternator. His bike wasn't going anywhere.
All right, so we're still here in Mexico this morning. It's been a long morning. Started off with a dead battery, and we tried to jump it a couple different ways, and then we finally had to take off the skid plate because the battery on this Pan America is underneath the skid plate. And luckily, one of the guys at the hotel had some jumper cables and jumped the bike, and we got it running. And that's the hotel that we're staying at. We came down the road to fill up with gas, and his bike died again. So we think it's probably the alternator that went out on the bike. Not to knock Harley or anything. I mean, he rode this to Alaska and back, and so it's got some wear on it. But that's where we're at right now. He's on the phone with the Mexican insurance, and we're gonna see if he can get a tow.
Despite this setback, we refused to be deterred. We rallied together to come up with a plan, to make do with what we had. It wasn't the ideal situation, but we were determined. Jerry made some calls, and a few hours passed before a tow truck finally showed up. We were not going on the ride we had planned, but a different adventure this time, just like the rest of this trip. We were told the tow truck would get Jerry's bike close, but not all the way through the border. That part was up to us. In the end, it was resilience and determination that saw us through. Our journey may have been filled with unexpected twists and turns, but we emerged stronger and more united as a result. As we look back on the adventure we had just completed, we knew while it had come to an end, the memories and lessons we had gained would stay with us forever. On our next episode, we part ways with our group, clean up our bikes, pack up, and head home on an airplane.